Steve and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the profile of a recovering home renovator.
Speaking of recovering, how was your birthday?
It was so much fun.
Good.
Thank you.
How you feeling today?
I feel just like I do every other day. I don't feel any different.
That would be because you party like a rock star, whether it's your birthday or not.
When do we not?
I know. That is true.
I had a great birthday, Jill. I always do because of you.
I'm glad.
You know what's strange? I'm always ready to be a year older. Like age, this whole age thing just has never fazed me.
That's true. I think you're going to accidentally wake up one day and have added 5 years to your age, and you're not. When I say added, you just start talking. You do think ahead about the number. Like our child who is 16, you say, he's 20. He's almost 20. I'm like, no, he's not. He's 16. There's a big difference between 16 and 20.
I don't know why. I like being an adult. When I was young, this is way more fun.
Oh, man.
Who doesn't want to have control of their life and control over their future and,
I don't like being an adult.
Cause and effect. I know you don't.
Do you know what my whole plan was?
I have to be an adult for both
Here
of
was
us.
my plan. So until you're 18, you want to be 18 so bad. And then, until you're 21, you want to be 21 so bad. Well, I realized after I turned 18, I looked around and I said, this is scary. I really am an adult. I really am responsible. So I came up with this idea. I decided.
I can't wait to hear this.
I was going to get a fake ID that said I was still 17, carry that around for quite some time. Because then if I ever got in trouble, I could say, I don't know, call my parents.
That's brilliant.
You like
reverse
that?
fake ID.
Yes. I'm not
Back
18.
then you could do so much stuff like that. No, you're in 50 databases forever.
Right. Call my parents.
Well, I'm sure your parents would love that too.
Oh.
Today's topic, profile. Oh, I already said it. Before we get into it, and Jill sidetracks me for the better again, let's take a question posted by one of the members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
It's post-birthday celebration going on, so
Yeah.
you're okay. You got at least 4 days that you can milk this. And then it's Christmas, so then I get to milk it. John asks, is dollar pricing better or percent pricing better when using the smart pricing tool? We need to back up and give a little bit of an explanation of what this is.
This is a good question. It's John's obviously neck deep in this. So smart pricing, for the record, is you take an asset, think of a house, and then think of that house in a whole subdivision of 1,000 houses. Each one is a little bit different, especially if it's not a master plan community. So unlike land, where we kind of just take the shotgun or maybe there's some finesse to it, each one of those assets has an algorithm associated with it that gives it some sort of value. So if you look up an address on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, DataTree, there's lots of them. We choose 6. You look up the asset, and it's some version of that price. When you take all those numbers, line them up in a spreadsheet, those 6 numbers, let's say, divide by 6, that's smart pricing. If you do it in a spreadsheet of 1,000 properties, we have a program called Smart Pricing for House Academy members. So you can envision looking down a spreadsheet and seeing 1,000 properties that are all kind of priced, and you get the smart pricing on each one. It's slightly different based on square footage, age of the home, all kinds of other stuff. It might be on a major street. Who knows what? Comps. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's in those algorithms? But we know they're all different. If they're all the same, they'd be each of Zillow and Trulia and everybody else would have the exact same numbers. So they're different, and they move every day, which really shocked me when I first started out looking at this stuff. So now you've got a reasonable asset, a reasonable value of this as-is asset. What John's asking is, I have a choice. We all have a choice to price it. I can price it so that I'm willing to pay, let's say 70% of what that smart pricing number is for all those properties. Or I can reduce it by a dollar amount. I can reduce it by $30,000 to $80,000 and send the offer that way. Either way, it's pretty darn intelligent. In fact, I don't know I don't know how other people who have programs like this, or I don't know how other people do it, but I'll tell you, we've had, and our members have had a ton of success with this. So my answer to the question is, which one do I use, dollars or percentages? It depends on the range of prices in that those 1,000 properties. It depends on that. If they're all some version of $250,000, let's say, dollar and percentage pricing are going to work okay. If a lot of places, like I always use Mesa, Arizona as an example, because we buy and sell a lot of property there. We have in the past, and the range is crazy. So there's some properties in there that are $80,000, there's some that are 1.2 million. So when that happens, you have to break it out into sections and then apply a dollar or percentage pricing. So the answer is, when there's a huge spread, dollars are probably better. When there's very, very consistent, maybe percentages are better, but that's just my opinion. Both are going to work. And either way, when you get done with your methodology and you're looking at those 1,000 units and you've got a price in a column, test it. Go to
Test for reason.
Let's say,
I love that.
Yeah. So take on 1,000 units, maybe 20 to 25. You just randomly pick them and say, hey, if this guy called back or he signs the offer and sends it back, would you do this deal?
Yeah.
Like, does the price make sense? Did I price it right? Or did I scale it off? And that will smoke it out for you.
A lot of people miss that step. Mm-hmm. They just go into it. They just say, okay, I'm offering 67% or 73% of whatever the number comes back. I feel good about that. But they don't go through that last little piece and test a few and just make sure. Okay, and then the offer comes back. Do you like it?
Exactly.
They sign it. They agree to it. Are you still going to buy it and follow through? Or is it too low? Sometimes, too, it's too low. Sometimes we have members in House Academy that are sending out offers in areas that are very inexpensive, like they're less than $100,000 homes. So your spread is going to be a little bit different. You might only make, if it's a less than $100,000 house, to make $10,000 or $20,000, that's great. You're not going to make 40.
Yeah,
that's
tough.
That's kind of nuts. And you don't want to be that guy.
That's right.
So, man, if I was buying an asset for less than $100,000, and just doing one a week, $10,000 is good. I think a $10,000, maybe $15,000 spread, that's good and that's fair and that makes sense. And because you're still going to sell it less than retail, in its current condition, because you want the guy who buys it from you to make money.
Right.
So
work it backwards from the price you're going to sell it. And then percentages or dollars will work, some version of it.
This is an ongoing discussion that we have pretty much every week on our member call. Every Thursday, we have a House Academy member call. And some version of this we discuss. And every single person has a different take on it. And I appreciate that. We all look at it different. We're all working in different markets, which is great. Talk about not stepping on anybody's toes. This is one of the huge values right now, and we're going to talk about it here in the topic. But one of the huge values of House Academy is nobody's doing it the way we do it. And for us to get deals, it's not hard, and I love it.
Today's topic, the profile of a recovering home renovator. Home renovator. Is that how you say that? Yeah. This is why you're listening. This whole topic came up because, for whatever reason, we've got people interested to joining the House Academy group that are saying, this last renovation I did a couple of renovations, and the first ones went okay. I made a little bit of money, not as much as I thought. This last one just kicked my butt. And then they fill in the blank. We got in there was asbestos in there. I didn't fully realize that foundation shouldn't be on a 45-degree angle. It's always some unexpected, unknown that they had no idea and didn't plan for. And that is what these programs that we have, these companies that we have and our members have, are designed to remove the risk from doing a real estate deal. I'm not sure if there's more darn risk than renovating a house. Like, everyone's different. Every house is different. I mean, I have a lot to say about this, Jill, and I know that you do too. So go ahead.
So I speak to these individuals. They call up. Hey, I just found House Academy. What the heck is this? It sounds a little too good to be true. And I've always want to find out where they're coming from, what's going on in their world. And it's like you just said, the whole point of the show is there's 3 or 4 underlying themes that come up. One is I have a lot of people in our group that are finding us that are, we call them recovering home renovators. I get it. And they report back to me that some version of getting harder to find deals. They feel like their deal flow is drying up. And we talk about, okay, what's going on? And one of the things they say is, I think with all these stupid, silly HGTV shows, there's a lot more competition out there, good, bad, or otherwise. There's a lot of people that have, come on, they've seen HGTV shows. They talked their father-in-law into loaning them $100,000, and here they come, and they don't know what they're doing. And so it's kind of,
Jeez.
what?
That scares me.
It's true. Come on, remember we met this couple at a dinner party in Arizona like a couple years ago, and she quit her job, and he still had a day job. Do you remember this one? And they're literally winging it, learning on their own. I swear they lay in bed and watch HGTV and thought that meant they could rewire a house. What are you guys doing? So there's a little bit, I think there's a lot more competition out there. People are painting a picture that it's pretty and it's fun and it's easy. I just want to walk around and pick out all the fixtures. There's a lot more to it than that.
We have a friend in Arizona who's a remodeling contractor. That's all he does. And he's now a member of our group because he's like, I can't take this anymore. Even for customers who are paying, he's like, I can't take it. I would rather just buy a property and that I know is 70% worth its current value and just resell it to the guys that are developers that I know.
Yep. A lot of them too, they say, gosh, this is the reason I'm here and I reached out to you is because there's so many unknowns when they get to that point. As a renovator, you don't know what's going to be behind the wall. You don't know that little piece of mold in the corner, how far it had spread.
It's spread everywhere,
There's
trust me.
so much. They're like, the amount of lost money from the unknowns was staggering that they've reported back.
That's what it comes back to me. Comes back to for me.
Is that
why would you ever go into something where there's a substantial amount of risk?
Right.
Why wouldn't you sit around every day and figure out a system, which is what these programs that we have are, and this group is, what through data and through existing information that you can access in real time or almost in real time, systematically reduce the risk when you spend money, when you invest money. And that's what this is. You're predicting with a high degree of certainty an outcome, both from a time standpoint and a money standpoint. Renovating a house is diametrically the opposite of that. You have no idea what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to find in the asset itself. You don't know how much it's going to cost. In a lot of cases, you don't know where the money's going to come from. And when you're done, I see this all the time with home renovators. Mm-hmm. They're done and they look at it and they say, okay, we're done. I bought it for this. I put this much money in. This has to be my sale price. And it's like so priced far out of the market that there's never going to happen.
It doesn't work.
You've done all 9 things wrong.
I've literally had them come back to me and say, I've never worked so hard for $5,000. And we haven't talked about this in a while. We remember there was one guy in our group. I'm trying to think of his name. It was like a year ago. And he was saying, you know what? Because he did both. And he said, hey, Steve and Jill, I've never lost money on a land deal.
Yeah.
But he sure did on house deals.
Yeah.
My argument is, which is great, if this is you and you're a recovering home renovator, you're trying to get out of that, and find a better way, you are perfect for this. Because number one, you can walk in better than a lot of us can because you've been really behind the walls and doing this for a while. If you've got a couple years into this, you have a pretty good idea when you're walking up the steps. You see the cracks in the foundation. You know what's falling off. You know the electrical box, what a good one looks like and what a wiring mess looks like. And you know exactly how much it's going to cost you based on the square footage of the home because you've been doing it. You did 20 of them. So you're perfect for this. Also, if you start doing this in your area, all the buyers are all the guys you were competing with, a year ago. This is the greatest thing too. You have Bob and Mike and Skip and everybody that Bob has a dumpster. Exactly.
Skip?
Yes. I don't know where that came from. I don't know Skip, but It's just, the guys that are ordering the dumpsters and having them delivered the same day you are. So there's your customers, and they would feel great. So you can walk into this, and that's the only thing that's missing now is how to buy it better. And so a lot of people in our community they're either doing two parts. They're either coming to us as a House Academy to say, I got to find these deals better. I don't want to change my business, but I need to get deals better and buy them better. And that's why I'm here. And some of them are like, now that I know this, I'm just going to use my knowledge. I know how to buy them. I know how to vet the deal, and I know exactly who to sell them to. I don't even want to do it. I'm going to let all my former competition buy them from me. I make money. They make money. Here we go.
Yeah, if you are a home renovator and you've done 20 deals, like Jill's just using an example, sit down for a second and calculate the amount of money that you would have made if you bought all 20 deals for 30% less than you paid.
Exactly.
It's staggering. I'll tell you right now, the vast majority, we have a lot of home renovators, and then they're all former home renovators. The majority, if not all, the people in our group who used to be home renters decided that this is easier, that they don't want to renovate the home anymore.
Right.
They just want to make the 30% of the value.
I talked to a guy the other day. It was so funny because he's in it right now, and he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, this one is the one. I knew, you roll the dice. It's going to happen. And I said, well, congratulations. You're about to go because he's going from that to land right now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Pendulum's swinging all the way.
Totally swinging. And I said, you're about to go from the hardest transaction to the easiest. Wait till you see what happens. Happy you could join us today. You can find us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on the Land Academy Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays right here with you on the House Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show, seeking affirmation, not information. Oh my gosh, Steve, what the heck? So I've fallen into this habit, and I think it's a good one, of doing some kind of obscure philosophical self exploration topics on Friday. Jill loves it because she just has to sit and listen.
You get a deep dive into Steven's head every Friday. Not just me, you.
That's why 20% of the people who regularly listen.
Don't listen on Friday. Are you excited about tomorrow?
Yeah, I kind of. It's easy. It's fun.
I'll get you a little couch.
Secretly, it's kind of a get it off my chest situation.
I know that. Some days he vents, some days he cries. The House Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.